Hey there, welcome to this video where we're going to dive into the teachings of Stoicism and explore a powerful idea, what I'm calling self-awesomeness. Now, when you think about being awesome, what comes to mind? Maybe it's standing out, being exceptional, or earning admiration from others. But today, I want to challenge that view and introduce you to what Stoicism has to say about becoming awesome, not through external validation, but by cultivating inner strength and living virtuously. So, why Stoicism? Well, it's an ancient philosophy, but one that's incredibly relevant to our modern lives. It teaches us how to build resilience, focus on what truly matters, and live well, regardless of the challenges we face. Today, we're going to take these Stoic principles and show how they can lead to true self-awesomeness, a kind of awesomeness rooted in wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Let's get started. Part 1. What is Stoic self-awesomeness? So, what does it mean to be truly awesome according to Stoic philosophy? In modern times, we often associate being awesome with external achievements, having a lot of money, a cool job, or being famous on social media. But Stoicism flips that idea on its head. For the Stoics, being awesome wasn't about how others perceive you or what you have. It was about how you live. Specifically, it's about living a life of virtue. The Stoics believed that the only thing that truly matters is our character. They talked about 4 key virtues that we should strive to embody: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. These are what make a person truly awesome. So self-awesomeness in Stoic terms is about becoming excellent in these virtues, not in how flashy your life looks on the outside. But how do we focus on these virtues? The Stoics gave us a key idea, the dichotomy of control. We can only control 2 things, our actions and our reactions. Everything else, it's out of our hands. So self-awesomeness begins with focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, your decisions, your virtues, and letting go of the rest. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Part 2. The virtue of wisdom, the foundation of self-awareness. Let's start with the first Stoic virtue, wisdom. In Stoic philosophy, wisdom is about understanding what is truly good, what is indifferent, and what is bad. It's the ability to see the world clearly and make decisions based on reason. But wisdom isn't just about knowing stuff, it's about knowing yourself. Self-knowledge is crucial. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, believed that regular self-reflection is essential for living a good life. He would encourage us to look within and ask, am I living in line with my values? Am I doing what is right? In fact, Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily in his meditations. He wrote down his thoughts and actions to keep track of where he was falling short and how he could improve. So, a great way to build your self-awesomeness is by taking time each day to reflect on your actions. Ask yourself, what did I do well today? Where did I let my emotions control me? How can I improve tomorrow? Wisdom also involves clarity of thought. We often let our emotions or assumptions cloud our judgment. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Wisdom allows us to pause before reacting, to step back and say, what's really going on here? How can I respond in a way that aligns with my best self? In the end, wisdom is about applying what we know to our actions. Being awesome isn't about having all the answers. It's about using what we know to live with integrity, choosing what's right, even when it's hard. Part 3. Courage, building confidence through action. Now let's talk about courage. Courage is a core Stoic virtue, and it's all about taking action despite fear or uncertainty. For the Stoics, courage didn't mean being fearless. It meant acting with moral conviction, even when you're scared or unsure. As Seneca said, we suffer more in imagination than in reality. How many times have we worked ourselves up, imagining the worst, only to find out that reality wasn't so bad? The Stoics encourage us to face our fears head-on and see them as opportunities for growth. Courage is also about resilience. It's about pushing forward even when things get tough. Marcus Aurelius famously said, "The obstacle is the way." In other words, challenges aren't things that block our path, they are the path. Every challenge is an opportunity to practice courage, to strengthen our inner resolve. Self-awesomeness comes from developing that kind of inner toughness. Think about how resilient you'd feel if, instead of avoiding challenges, you embraced them. When you face difficulties and don't back down, you become more confident in your ability to handle whatever life. And remember, building courage doesn't have to mean facing huge, dramatic fears every day. It can be as simple as having a difficult conversation, stepping out of your comfort zone, or setting a boundary. Each small act of courage builds your confidence and strengthens your awesome self. Part 4. Justice. Strengthening your character through integrity. Next up, we have justice. In Stoic philosophy, justice is about fairness, not just in terms of laws, but in how we treat others and how we contribute to society. Marcus Aurelius put it perfectly, "What's bad for the hive is bad for the bee." True self-awesomeness comes from recognizing that we are all interconnected. If we harm others, we harm ourselves. So living justly is about acting with integrity, being honest, and treating others with respect. Integrity is a major part of this. When you live in alignment with your principles, you build a strong foundation for your sense of self. As Epictetus reminds us, no one can make you act against your will. Your integrity is something that no one can take away from you. Only you can compromise it. And when you don't, when you hold firm to your principles, you build self-respect and confidence. Justice also means serving others. Stoicism teaches us that we don't live in isolation. A truly awesome person isn't someone who's just focused on themselves. They're someone who lifts others up, who acts for the common good. By contributing to society and helping others, we reinforce our own sense of purpose and fulfillment. Part 5. Temperance. Mastering your desires for true inner power. Now, let's talk about temperance. This virtue is all about moderation and self-control. Self-awesomeness isn't about indulging in every desire or impulse, it's about mastering them. In today's world, we're surrounded by messages that tell us to want more, to consume more, to always be chasing the next big thing. But the Stoics remind us that true happiness and power come from controlling our desires, not letting them control us. Seneca said, "If you live according to nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinion, you will never be rich." In other words, when we align ourselves with what is necessary and sufficient for a good life, we find contentment. Temperance teaches us to be mindful and intentional with our choices, whether it's about what we eat, how we spend our time, or even how much we talk. Temperance reminds us that moderation is key. And this isn't about deprivation, it's about freedom. When you're not a slave to your impulses, you have the power to choose what's truly good for you. It's about finding balance and knowing when enough is enough. So how can we apply temperance in daily life? Simple things. Being mindful of how much time you spend on social media, learning to say no to distractions, and practicing moderation in everything you do. These small acts of discipline build inner strength and bring us closer to our best, most awesome selves. Part 6. Stoic practices to cultivate self-awesomeness. So, how do we cultivate these virtues and build our inner awesomeness in everyday life? Stoicism gives us some powerful practices to help us stay on track. First, there's journaling. Marcus Aurelius did it, and you can too. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect on your actions. Ask yourself, did I live in line with my values today? Did I let my emotions get the better of me? What can I do better tomorrow? This daily reflection helps you stay mindful of your growth and keeps you accountable to yourself. Another practice is negative visualization, or what the Stoics called premeditatio malorum. This involves imagining challenges or losses before they happen. Now, this isn't about being pessimistic. Instead, it's a way to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for whatever life may throw at you. By visualizing potential obstacles, you become less attached to outcomes and more focused on your response. You can also adopt morning and evening rituals. Start your day with a Stoic meditation. Think about what kind of person you want, and at the end of the day, reflect on how you did. These simple habits help keep you aligned with your higher self. And finally, practice gratitude and amor fati, which means love of fate. The Stoics believe that everything happens for a reason, and that by embracing life's challenges and gifts, we find peace. Gratitude helps us focus on what we have, rather than what we lack, and reminds us that self-awesomeness comes from within. Conclusion: becoming your Stoic best self. So, to wrap things up, what does it mean to be truly awesome according to Stoicism? It's not about external achievements, material success, or validation from others. It's about cultivating inner strength, living according to your values, and embodying wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. Self-awesomeness isn't something you achieve overnight. It's a daily practice, a way of life. But by focusing on what you can control, embracing challenges with courage, treating others with fairness, and mastering your desires, you'll build a life that is truly fulfilling. Remember, Stoicism is a tool that helps us become our best selves, not in the eyes of others, but in the only way that truly matters, in how we live and how we think. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Go out there, be awesome, and live virtuously. Until next time.